Immediately this caused drama. Why? Because one of my detractor slash restreamer slash hate watcher slash internet stalkers, their name is like Doody Streams or something like that. Because once again, you know, I don't know what's going on in the realm of my naysayers and detractors. But now the new thing is, did you know that Phil has had the slowest months ever in his entire history? Right now, it's his slowest months ever, which is false. Okay? That's completely false, what they're saying. Here's the truth, okay? Previous, when I was an up-and-comer on YouTube, I had a channel called Darkside Phil, all right? That was in operation for about 2.5 years. Then I started on this channel in 2010, around April of 2010, and this has been my main channel for gameplay ever since, DSP Gaming, that is. When I started the channel in 2010, I was super popular. So, like, I was one of the top gaming YouTubers, and I was getting tons of views on everything that I did, okay? So, if you compare the old days to today, yes, of course, I was getting way more views back then. I wasn't even a live streamer back then. I was only making on-demand videos. I was making 10-minute long on-demand videos, so my views were sky high. If you wanted to watch an hour of gameplay, you had to watch 6 videos and give me 6 views. Today, I get 1 view for that hour. I'm not a views-based business. I never have been since the ad apocalypse happened and everything stopped being based on ad revenue. I don't care about views. It doesn't matter to me. You understand? What matters to me is, are people actually showing up and engaging with my content and supporting it? And the answer is yes. To give you some perspective, in the last 6 months, I've been making way more via your support than I've been making in the last like 5 years. And that's not an exaggeration. That's fact. I'm actually doing way better financially because of you than I have done in over 5 years. That's why I was able to afford all of the upgrades and everything in the office, right? And the other thing you have to understand is that I'm not only putting all my content into one channel anymore. It used to be everything I do was on DSP Gaming. Literally every piece of content, whether it was a vlog, whether it was a taste test, whether it was a review, whether it was a gameplay video, you know, whatever it was all on DSP Gaming. Now I want you to think about my content today, okay? I stream, but not even all on DSP Gaming. I have one YouTube stream on DSP Gaming and another YouTube stream taking place over on Kick. So already that has dramatically reduced the amount of views because you may think, oh, it's not that big of a deal. No, actually it is. To give you some perspective, right now on any given stream, I probably have on average around 300 or so viewers, and it can go up if it's a more popular game and down if it's a less popular game. That's on YouTube. On Kick, I get maybe 40, 50 viewers a stream, but that adds up to aggregate views. And that 40, 50 viewers watching on Kick would have normally been on YouTube, and I'm not getting those views anymore on YouTube, so it skews the amount of views that I'm getting. Do you see? The YouTube views are down, but overall, Kick views are also views that count, but they're not being factored in when people are saying, oh, he has low YouTube views. In addition, I'm not just doing content on DSP Gaming. I'm doing the DSP Tries It series, and that's uploaded exclusively over to my DSP Reacts channel, correct? I'm also doing the Smart Guy show, and that's exclusively streamed and archived on the DSP Reacts channel. So that's not being factored in. And in addition to that, I've got an entirely third channel called DSP Throwback. Now, does that channel bring in tons of views and attention? No, but it's work, and it's work I'm doing, and that's on a third channel. So it's funny when you listen to an idiot, a simpleton, who thinks that they can easily present an argument with matter-of-fact knowledge when none of the knowledge is actually factual, okay? Is it true that DSP Gaming has been down in views the last couple of months? Yes, and here's why. Number one, there's no hot new games. Can you tell me what's the latest hot new game that came out and you were dying to see me play and I played on release day? I actually can't even think of it. Like a lot of the games, for example, Indiana Jones, that was a what-if scenario. We didn't even know if it was going to be good, and we didn't know if I was going to play it or how it was going to go, right? So there wasn't a lot of hype behind it. Stalker 2 was the same deal, where I didn't like Stalker 1, and it didn't really get a lot of attention, right? Like, I don't think it was a overhyped game or anything. This fall, particularly, was a fall where most of the games were underwhelming during the busiest gaming season of the year. So most of the hype was dead. I would argue the last game that legitimately had major hype behind it and I played was Silent Hill 2 Remake. And that was the beginning of October. It's the end of January. Do you see my point? Now, the good news is, because people like me and my content, it doesn't matter what I'm playing. I can play old games like Dark Souls with mods, or I can continue to play a multiplayer game like Street Fighter 6 or Black Ops 6, or I could go play indie games like Balatro, right? We could play whatever we want, and people still show up, still engage, and still support. But my overall views are going to be down. Right now, it's my core audience who's watching everything on the channel, and then people will come back when the new games start to hit. Undoubtedly, with that lineup that I just mentioned, February, March, and April, you're going to have people who are going to be coming back to the channel who haven't been here for a while because they want to see my honest takes on the new games as they come out this year, okay? So, that's why it's not a big deal. Don't worry that in the last couple of months, it looks like views are down and shit like that. Of course they are. I'm not just exclusively making content for this channel anymore. I'm splitting my efforts. I'm not even streaming just on this channel anymore. So therefore, even if you were trying to compare December 2024 to December 2023, it's not even a fair comparison because my streams are split. So a lot of the views that were coming in from the streams are now on Kick and don't count towards the channel anymore. But the point I'm making here is I want all of this stuff that I have added and you know, paid for and installed and got up and running to be working when these new games hit. I don't want it to be a big hot new release and that day my camera's turning off, my lighting's turning off, the stream's crashing, the freaking capture device is having glitches and issues, my GPU is maxed out. I can't have that. I need it working. All right. And if anything, I will tell you this. 10 years I had that old PC. That old PC that I spent like $3,000 on, right? And everyone said you bought a lemon, which I didn't. 10 years, that PC was old faithful. That thing, day in, day out, by hook or by crook, turned on and worked. There were some issues along the way with, for example, the microphone malfunctioning and I have to restart OBS and a corrupted video here or there. But for the most part, that was the most dependable PC I had ever had. And it allowed me to be consistent, Mr. Consistent. You knew that on a given day, I was going to be streaming at a certain time. I was going to be playing a certain game. You knew you could trust me to be there. This last 2 months, I'll be honest, I don't know, man. These last 2 months have been hit or miss with all these tech issues, all right? So what I'd like to do to start the show is address some of the issues that I'm having and to let you know about possible solutions or things that I've figured out and implemented. And we're going to see if anyone has any ideas that can help me out, because at this point, I'm at my wit's end. I think I've done what I can, and I think some of them are solved. But at this point, I want to be sure that I'm doing everything that I possibly can, all right? But before we get there,